The health department has detected the local transmission of the potentially more transmissible BA.5 Omicron subvariant. The camps of President-elect Bongbong Marcos and Vice President-elect Sara Duterte are gearing up for their inauguration rites. And motorists should brace for another round of big-time increase in prices of petroleum products in the coming week. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin the newscast with the health department confirming the local transmission of Omicron subvariant BA.5. In a public briefing, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire announced that it was found in 2 individuals from Central Luzon. They both tested positive for the subvariant despite not having a travel history outside the country and having been fully vaccinated. A virus is locally transmitted if the source of infection is domestic and there are no links to international cases outside of the country.
What we have right now is the local transmission of these subvariants, but the community transmission, we still need to establish that through evidences.
Meanwhile, Vergeire called on the government to properly study the effects of lifting the COVID-19 state of calamity in the country. She said it would have several operational implications and warned of a possible uptick in cases due to waning vaccine immunity.
Marami pong operational implications. Nakatali po dito sa polisiyang ito pong ating emergency use authority ng ating mga bakuna at saka mga gamot na ginagamit for COVID-19. Nakatali din po dito yung health human resources for health na mga benepisyong pinamimigay natin at saka yung mga ginagawa po nating emergency procurement.
Vaccinees will no longer get their COVID-19 shots at the Quirino Grandstand in Manila Bay or in Manila by June 7. Now, the reason in this report by JC Cosico.
What used to be long queues of vehicles have now turned to almost none at the Quirino Grandstand, where a drive-through COVID-19 vaccination is being held. After more than 5 months of operations, the number of vaccinees has started to wane. In fact, data shows almost 5,000 individuals were only vaccinated at the site last month, a far cry from over 35,000 in January. This is why Manila's local government has decided to halt its operations by June 7.
Since madami naman tayong other vaccination sites, like yung mga 44 health centers natin, yung 6 district hospitals natin, yung mga schools, and then may mga mall sites pa tayo, siguro pwede nang masarado yung drive-thru natin.
For some vaccinees who took the opportunity to have themselves boosted before the last day, the drive-through site was convenient.
Para maiwasan din po natin yung mga ganong, yung mga ngayon po mga variant na bagong lumalabas. So, mas mabuti pong healthy yung katawan. At least dito nakasasakyan ka na pipila ka lang ng konti.
Sobrang convenient. Kahit priority lane ako, walang pila talaga. Tapos may Pfizer pa.
Aside from vaccination, the drive-through swab test will also cease operations.
Para po magamit na ng mga event. Dahil mahalaga daw po yung mga event na gagawin nila sa Luneta.
With this, authorities now call on the public to get vaccinated at other inoculation sites.
Yun yung magpapadagdag protection sa kanila para hindi sila malagay dun sa worst case scenario, just in case na infect na sila ng COVID.
Overall, more than 1.7 million individuals were jabbed against COVID-19 across the city. For News 5, JC Cosico, We Are One News.
A recent study abroad has found that COVID-19 may have an impact on the human brain, even a mild case. Let's watch this.
What we really see is how much the brain has shrunk. what is really different in this study is that we had mild participants who were not hospitalized, so they stayed at home. They were well enough, presumably, to stay at home, and some of them were even asymptomatic. So we're not seeing this kind of gross pathology that you would see in all of these other brain imaging studies that have focused on hospitalized patients. We're looking at much more subtle kind of differences here. Very first thing is that greater change in the shrinkage of the brain, but also a greater cognitive decline. So what we see is really that there's a decline in mental ability, in being able to perform complex tasks in the participants who got infected. We were quite surprised to see some clear differences in how the brain had changed in the participants who have become infected with SARS-CoV-2. But what is important is also to bear in mind that the brain is plastic and can heal itself, whether it's because the symptoms are, slightly lessened and getting better, or because the immune reactions or neuroinflammation is also going away, or maybe the virus is getting cleared.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Preparations are underway for the inauguration of President-elect Bongbong Marcos and Vice President-elect Sara Duterte. The Chief Justice is expected to administer the oath of Marcos Jr. at the National Museum on June 30. Marcos spokesperson Attorney Vic Rodriguez said that the Chief Justice Office will receive the invitation letter soon. The camp has also invited outgoing President Duterte and Vice President Leni Robredo to the inauguration, as well as the other past officials holding the top seats. Meanwhile, the Vice President-elect's inauguration will be open to the public in Davao City on June 19. Several artists are also expected to perform in a concert after the oath-taking. Another big-time oil price hike is in the offing. Unioil projects that the prices of diesel would increase by up to 6 pesos and 50 centavos per liter next week. Gasoline prices are likewise expected to rise by up to 2 pesos and 70 centavos. Recall that oil companies rolled back gasoline prices but increased prices for diesel last month. Sci-fi horror series Stranger Things is back with season 4 and is already topping Netflix viewership records. MJ Marfori with a story.
The most popular teen stars in the planet are back with a bang. After the debut of Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1, the show raked in record-breaking numbers. News 5 got the chance to exclusively chat with the main characters of the series here in Sydney, Australia. Stranger Things 4 Volume 1 just debuted last weekend, and it is the biggest premiere ever for an English title on Netflix, with more than 286 million watch hours. One to watch out for this season is Sadie Sink's impressive performance, which some say deserves an Emmy nomination.
I don't know. I mean, that's really nice of them to say. It was a really fun, crazy season to film.
Season 4 Volume 1 picks up from the battle at Starcourt Mall. This is also the first time that the gang separated, with Elle leaving Hawkins to go to California for high school.
And just incredible, and I think we expand upon what we did in part 1 quite nicely. And I think we wrap up the season in a really exciting way.
Fans can now watch the latest season of Stranger Things on Netflix. From Sydney, Australia, and for News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
Now for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.